Faustian D'Azoral, warlock at law, leads an interesting and varied career, and not all of his triumphs are in the courtroom. D'Azoral can be found anywhere victory hinges on tense negotiations, obscure rules, or technical truths, and all of those victories go into the Casebooks of Faustian D'Azoral.
Sometimes the people who come to me for help are really the victims of circumstance. People that things have randomly happened to, through no fault of their own. They are the minority. More often, and most often, my clients have brought their troubles on themselves. And no type of case illustrates that better than the gamblers. You see, sometimes entities like to make bets with mortals, and then they cheat to win. And then the poor loser comes to me, and I always start by telling them that they shouldn't have gambled anything that they weren't willing to lose. Aren't there? What can I do for you today? And who's your friend?
Well, this is Hans Vonderson.
Well, nice to meet ya. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Well, kinda. That's why we're here.
Oh? I'm listening.
Well, Hans is a bard. What? Fine. Hans Vonderson here is the most famous bard on Arenthaergald. Better? Good. Now, from what I can gather, he met a mysterious stranger at a crossroads at midnight.
Oh! What did he buy, and what did he sell?
No, see, he was too smart for that. He knew if he sold something, he'd regret it later.
That is smart. But I feel like you're about to tell me something that will cause me to revise that opinion.
He wasn't willing to trade anything, so instead he agreed to gamble.
What were the stakes?
The mysterious stranger bets the concept of rock and roll, and Hans here thought it would be a good idea to gamble his voice.
That explains why he's been so quiet. You say he's a bard?
Yes.
I imagine that a bard's voice is fairly important to him. You could almost say it's like the expression of his soul.
That was very poetic. You should write greeting cards.
The point I'm driving at is that your pal here sold his soul for rock and roll, and didn't even come away with any rock or roll. I always tell clients never to gamble anything that they aren't prepared to lose, and never bet against the house. Now, here's the musical question. Who did Mr. Vonderson gamble with? Was it a demon or a devil?
I don't think he knows. What's the difference?
One of them would give him his voice back if we could prove the game was rigged. The other would just laugh at us. I'll see what I can do. And which was it? A devil would have to play fair, or at least by the rules. But a demon would cheat. And the average layperson has no idea of the difference, since both are big red jerks with horns and tails. But there are lots of minor imps that do know the difference, and there's enough greed in what passes for their little souls to trade or trick the information out of them.
No way, You don't know what you're asking me.
Really? All I asked was who gambled with the bard Vonderson. What's the big deal with telling me?
Look, I'm not going to get on the wrong side of a devil like that. It's not worth my hide for whatever trade you've got in mind.
So it was a devil, huh? Well, thank you.
Hey, wait! Hellfire, I shouldn't have told you that. Look, you didn't hear it from me. I didn't talk to you at all.
I won't breathe a word about it, but there is a small matter of the other favor I need from you.
Oh, hells.
It's nothing much. I just need you to start a small fire when I point and snap my fingers, and in exchange, I'll owe you one.
What? Such a little thing? For a favor from the Faustian D'Azoral? Done.
Now I knew. I knew generally where, and generally who, and now I just had to win. And as they say, knowing is half the battle, but it might be slightly less than that where devils are concerned.
Well, well, well. Faustian D'Azoral. What brings you to my midnight crossroads this evening?
Hans Vandersen.
Ah, yes. Arenthaergald's former greatest bard. How is he? Keeping quiet, I expect?
You could say that. He's gotten really good at charades. I've been hired to get his voice back.
Indeed? If anyone could. But of course, there are rules about this sort of thing. And the first is no takesies backsies. Double or nothing. Can you match his stake?
One voice? Well, sure.
It will be difficult to practice as a warlock at law if you cannot speak. Are you sure? For some bard? Even a client?
You just let me worry about that. I never gamble anything that I'm not prepared to lose.
And, of course, I want to play the same game. It is to be dueling ukuleles.
The dueling ukuleles?
Did Vandersen not tell you? What am I saying? Of course he didn't. Did Vandersen not mime it at you?
I must have missed it. Dueling ukuleles, of course. Just to be clear, let us establish the rules. One contestant will play, and the other must mimic on the ukulele. If the second player cannot mimic for any reason, they lose the challenge. At the end of the round, the second player plays, and the first person mimics, continuing in back-and-forth fashion until one player loses. And this time, no party, winning or losing, is allowed to seek revenge due to the outcome. Whoever loses has to live with it. Otherwise, as they say, no holds barred. As the challenger, I get to play first. Agreed?
Agreed. Now, let us see how Faustian D'Azoral plays the uke.
All right. Here goes.
What an excellent challenge. It is incredibly difficult to play badly in a specific way.
Well, that was my strategy. You want to give up? Call it quits and return Mr. Vandersen's voice?
No. No, I think I can match you.
Burn! Burn it all!
What? You set my ukulele on fire!
Ye demons! What did you make me do?
You didn't finish the riff! So I'll be taking Vandersen's voice back from you.
But you cheated!
Did I? I don't remember there being anything about not setting your opponent's instrument on fire in the rules. In fact, it says that if you cannot complete the riff for any reason, you lose the challenge. I'd say your instrument being on fire falls under any reason.
D'Azoral! D'Azoral! You gotta help me. I want to catch him a favor. Just protect me from him.
This is how you want to use your favor?
Yeah, sure. Just protect me.
Okay, deal.
You miserable wretch. I'm going to eat your soul, and the little imp that helped you shall suffer for an age or more.
Now that would be cheating. No party, winning or losing, is allowed to seek revenge for the results of this contest on any party involved. And you can't break the rules you agreed to. You'd pop like a soap bubble.
What? Damn you, Faustian D'Azoral.
Maybe, but not because of you. I always tell my clients never to gamble anything that they aren't willing to lose, because the odds are always stacked in the house's favor. Technically, that's not cheating. It's not fair, but it's not cheating either. So remember, if you have to gamble something you're not prepared to lose, make sure that you are the house.
From the Casebooks of Faustian D'Azoral is brought to you today by Faustian D'Azoral, Warlock at Law, obviously. And now, here's your weekly weather on Kingdom of Stonetree Broadcasting with Finola Vance, Meteor Astrologer.
That's right. This week, I shall be using dictyomancy to predict the weather. What is dictyomancy? How is it spelled? Can I use it in a sentence? I'm going to check in our largest spellbook, or as it is more commonly called, a dictionary. Dictyomancy is herein defined as the practice of divining the future by randomly opening a dictionary, which I luckily happen to have out. Let's see. Euphonious, pertaining to or characterized by euphony, pleasing to the ear. Tuesday will be warm and sunny, with a gentle breeze carrying the sounds of birdsong. Odontoblast, a tooth cell in the outer surface of a dental pulp that produces dentine. Wednesday. Well, my dentist is Dr. Fangwin, and he comes from the sea, so wind blowing from the sea will bring fog and rain. Chanterelle, an edible yellow mushroom having a pleasant, fruity odor. Thursday. The sun will be back out, and it will remain pleasantly cool. Perfect weather for hunting for mushrooms. Waffle, a breakfast that is delicious with syrup, or possibly to speak or write evasively, willfully misleading. Friday will be nice in the morning, but I wouldn't plan a picnic for the afternoon. Expect rain, probably. That's your upcoming weather from Finola Vance, Meteor Astrologer and the Kingdom of Stonetree Broadcasting.